Hey y'all. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast may not be those of the host or the guest. So, needless to say, viewer discretion is advised.
Jameson Beverly.
Welcome back to Renaissance for the Soul, where we spread this good love culture. It's just me and Trav today, man. What's good with you?
Not much, man. I'm trying to evolve, man.
Evolve how?
Get out the mud, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the mud a little bit. You feel me?
Anti procrastination. Today, Trav was getting on me on some procrastination, so might as well talk about that. You know, time and effort. Can't get out the mud if you procrastinate, right?
That's true. That's true.
Like, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll do it the next day.
Yep.
Now, that's what they say, you knee deep. You knee deep in the mud.
Yeah.
You know, too much going on right now to even let that happen.
Even them, when you get them little intuitive nudges, it's like, oh, you know, when you see somebody, like, it tell you, like, hey, leave them alone. But you don't pay no attention. You're like, nah, they cool.
Energy based.
You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, like, hey, I should have been cutting them off. I should have been did that.
Do you feel like, you know, do you believe like birds of the feather flock together? You believe that saying?
I do. Because you are, I mean, at least from what I've experienced, you are the sum of who you hang around. Like, literally.
How about if you just consider yourself loyal?
I get that too, but you gotta be loyal to yourself first and foremost. Because if you're loyal to yourself and your growth, then that won't keep you in bondage to something that has served its purpose.
So if you had like a friend, like you've been friends for ever far back as you can remember,
Right.
Never did nothing wrong to you, but people are looking at you like, why are you even dealing with this cat? You cutting them off?
Nah, because that's the difference between, because it's like I'm going out my personal relationship with a person. So, like I said, they may not see it, right? But at the same time, if I know I got a type of relationship and they ain't done nothing to me, I'm cool.
But that's the bird of the feather, though.
I guess it's nuances into it then, because, you know, it's a little gray there.
That's like the same thing, like gangs, for example. You know, you might be from a hood,
Yeah,
and you rather go to school, do the right thing, but when you see them, that's your folks. You know what I'm saying? And you might not be a killer or a drug dealer or all the stuff that they doing, but that just you affiliated with them. You know what I mean? So that's the same thing. Like birds of a feather flock together, but it might just be part of your surroundings, but you ain't really that. You just.
And I mean, to that point though too, I think you still have to be responsible in who you surround yourself with. So like I said, if you know somebody got a venomous reputation, but they ain't been that way with you, you shouldn't be like green or naive to the fact they've been venomous to other people, even if they haven't shown it to you. You know what I'm saying? So you should, at least in my mind, I'm like, well, they haven't done that to me, but I need to be okay with if they come at me with that, because then I'm taking responsibility. Because I can't just sit there and then try to be a victim if they do something that other people told me this how they move, and I ain't want to listen. I had to take responsibility for it. So,
but that's like I said to you, period. Though, because like I said, honestly, I don't believe that birds of a feather flock together. Just sometimes it's survival of the fittest. Sometimes you have to be able to blend in with some people to be able to survive, and you're not with that flock, because when the opportunity presents itself, you're gonna do what you want to do. Or if they get to saying they want to do something that you really ain't interested in, you know, then you like, nah, I'm cool with that. You know, because I had some friends when I was young, you know, they went to go do whatever. Next thing I know, they calling me with the collect call. And it's like, I could have, you know, went and did that. And I was like, nah, I'm straight. Yeah. So I can't really just put just the people that I'm with, you know, off that.
I think, too, you speaking on that, like, again, following your intuition, because like at least I know when some stuff off, even if somebody I've been rocking with for a minute. Like it's been like that sometimes too, where I've been cool with somebody for years, but some told me like, "Hey man, you gonna have to leave them alone at least for this season. It may not be permanent, maybe just be temporary, but for this season, you need to focus on you and do what you gotta do, because whatever they got going on, it ain't for you, you know."
But how about if you? Well, I guess you could look at it different ways. I was thinking like when you were saying that, I always think of the thought process of God body. So, they always use the example of Jesus, for example. He went around with all the heathens,
Yeah,
basically, heathens and prostitutes.
right,
But then when you turn around and look at it, that also got him crucified,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't of them, and then they wasn't necessarily there to stop to get down. Well, I guess you said they was too, though, because dude cut off the ear, he put it back on, or, however that thought process is. But
And I mean, it's interesting you say that, because recently I've been going back over like, comedic science, and like especially things surrounding like the mythology of Osiris, um, and then even Anubis, how they were weighed hard on the scale with the feather. So even in that sense, right, like I wouldn't be upset at somebody for hanging with a certain crew that others deem wasn't worthy, because if it's all what you getting out of it, and if your intentions are pure, because if you in it, like for example with Jesus Christ, I'm looking at it, if you read the story and understand more the message purpose, it's like he was living from his heart. So it's like at the end of the day, he wasn't tripping off that.
yeah,
So it's like even if he knew they were snakes and they was gonna bite him and be venomous,
he told him at the Last Supper, one of y'all.
yeah. He won't trip. And I think that speaks to the power of prophecy, because if you're a real messenger or prophet, or you got purpose, at the end of the day, like you said, sometimes you're gonna be in a mix of people where it's like you don't know their real intentions, and you just trying to survive, like you said, or maneuver the best you can.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that's again what you getting out of it. Are you keeping your intentions pure? Because you'll be in situations like that, and you'll be covered and protected, to a certain extent, where maybe that snake don't bite you, where they just kind of watching you, right? But like, hey, like I know I'm in this pit, I'm in this den with the lions, but I have some wiggle room here, and if I stay in this pivot, I'm cool. That's all I got to do, you know. And then be able to look yourself in the mirror,
When you in the den, is there certain things you do to like prepare yourself?
I think for me, it's I be looking at it, I gotta be ready already. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be in that spirit. And a lot of times what'll happen is if I'm not aware I'm in that den, or I'm like, it'll click and be like, nah, G, this ain't your family.
Yeah,
They don't love you like that. And when you can get that kind of like that moment of clarity, it's like, I bet I have to get out my feelings. Because if you move emotionally, it can mess you up sometimes. It's not to say that you don't feel your emotions in a healthy way, but it's like you gotta have balance, because everybody ain't your friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as I say, you pay attention to people's actions over their words. Cause a lot of people will talk a good game and say, "Oh yeah, man, I fool with you.
Yeah.
I got love for you," but the way they moving weird. Nah, man, they not. They just talking. So.
Cause I know for me, like I dumb myself down, like cause I know a lot of situations where people will be like, damn, they can see the difference, or you can say they can see the light, things like that. So I'll listen to the craziest thing possible. You know what I'm saying? On the way, I might eat some stuff I normally wouldn't eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like to dumb myself down as much as possible. Like I don't really drink too much soda, but I might drink a Pepsi. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. But what you saying though is real, because like sometimes you got to do that. I remember I read the 48 Laws of Power in college, right? And like that book, of course, you could follow that joint to a T and be very powerful. But for me, I didn't necessarily want to do it, so I just took little gems that resonated, right? But one of the ones that stood out the most was that, like you saying, playing dumber than your mark. Once you see the arena and you see who moving, it's like I don't have to prove to you that I'm intelligent, because I don't have to do that. I could just play chess. Because like they always say, a wise man can play a fool, but a fool can't be a wise man.
Yeah.
So sometimes you do got to do that, because you know the parameters, or the whatever you want to say, powers that be, might be set up in a way where it may be a atrocious figure that's in power, and it's like you could try to go out directly, but it ain't gonna serve you nothing, because they already got the resources, and they got people behind them that think they are whoever they think they
Yeah.
are. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta be like, you know what, I'm gonna just play my role, because if y'all putting this or pushing this on me, cool. I don't have to necessarily ascribe to that. I can still keep my thoughts free and think how I want to. So
Does that go for everything? Like, have you ever caught yourself uh, joining a group or, let's say, a fraternity or a gang or a society or anything like that to feel
like
part of
included.
something? Yeah.
Nah, I've always been more than one to stray. Like, even I had opportunities to go in fraternities in college, but some of the rituals and stuff they do, like, it didn't really sit well with
Yeah,
me.
you ain't
So
paddling me.
yeah, like, or just even the fact too that a lot of them, and granted, I'm not saying everybody, right? Because some of them phenomenal folks, great character, but I saw a lot of where it was abuse of power and of status. Well, not even abuse, but it's more so that's what you did it for. You know, I'm across, so I can I'm joining this fraternity so I can get girls and whoop de whoop, and it's just like
You
then
got that anyway.
you know what I'm saying, and then when it be crazy, because then they may be feeling some type of way, because you might have just been like, nah, I'm gonna just do my own thing, and you get it regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They feeling some type of way, but it's like, nah, I've always been kind of like, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Plus, if you genuine, you gonna have that same connection or network with them
Exactly,
same people
exactly,
anyway. So
exactly.
instead of me just being tied into one fraternity,
Right,
I could be in class with like 5 of them joints,
exactly,
be invited to they get down,
exactly,
be able to this one still have that same net. Actually, it's a
exactly.
bigger network to be
Yeah,
in all honesty if you just a genuine person.
and honestly, what you talking about is the key right now, because the North Node in astrology is in Aries right now, and the South Node is in Libra. And what it's calling for people to be able to do is to be assertive in their needs and who they are, but also balance being in value partnerships, and you know showing up the right way. You feel me? So
Yeah.
you know I can join a group or a collective or an initiative, but then I also had to have balance with my own personal goals too. You know what I'm saying? So finding that balance, and that's also why you see such a push, even in the media, and then in the Middle East with the divide and division over there, all the chaos,
Yeah.
because these energies. Again, we just vessels. These energies is playing off. No, the North Node being in Aries is literally war, violence. Aries is the warrior.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to think about fire signs, like Aries is the wildfire. You feel me? Like, and it's just blazing. Quick temper, thinking about yourself, and I'm talking more in the lower energies of it.
Yeah.
Egotistical, selfish. You're not thinking of nobody else, right? But you gotta have balance, which is Libra, the polarity. All right, like I need to take care of me, but I also can help somebody else too. You feel me? But yeah,
The way this world going right now, like I heard they raised the draft age. Like you might be in the group where you can get drafted.
man, that's what OG was talking about the other day.
Yeah,
Yesterday, he was
I
saying
want to say it's
that,
like 30 or something like
yeah,
that.
he said the age group is all the way up to 38.
Yeah, so what you gonna do?
Man, you know what? I'm not sure, because honestly, I'm like, I don't want to fight no war that, especially if it goes against what I value, because I'm more so for peace.
So you go to jail?
Man, or be prepared. You feel me? Because it's like, bro, like I get, everybody say, "Oh, fight for the country," but I'm like, bro, what has the country really done for me? Especially when you think about how they take care of Americans. They send in billions of dollars to
Ukraine.
Ukraine,
Yeah.
and Israel. And we got homeless people in Georgia. You know how many homeless people in Georgia?
Yeah.
It's hella homeless people in Georgia. They not taking care of none of the folks here.
You know, I'll be tripping off of that. Cats be like scared, or they be like turning, like go to jail. No, but check it out though. If you was on the run, how would they find you?
Exactly. Unless you running your mouth, or you politicking with people that not really gonna hold you down like that. Cause it's like, bro, if you really smart, you could just disappear.
Yeah.
And who gonna find unless you really just being out here? Oh, I gotta go chill with these girls. I gotta go hit up my homeboy.
But you can do all that. It's just incognito. You doing too much.
Yeah.
At that point, it's pretty much like it'd be in one situation like this. If you were to move and then you give your new mailing address, you know what I'm saying? Like why?
That's what I'm saying. That was real. So that's a good point too, because like if you really wanted to be incognito, you can do it. But I think that's the thing too of why social media is like it is now. Some people can't live without it, man.
I damn near can't, honestly.
It's addicting because it's like, and then because you think about it, that's where your real power is. Like, say something really had to happen where you did have to go incognito. How many people could really give up social media?
Shit, I don't watch TV. That's really where I get all my information from, social media. And because, like, you got to think of it this way. It's like either social media or a social network. So I follow a lot of people that really show me what's, especially on Twitter or X, whatever it's called. Yeah. A lot of people that I follow, like I'm really finding out the information though.
But no, but for real, nah, I'm listening.
You know what I mean? So it's like okay, if I did, because I be thinking about that too. All right, if I did cut out social media altogether, I couldn't just live. Like I can't do a podcast like we doing right now, or live amongst society, or go to 9 to 5. I literally have to be out in the wilderness.
Why couldn't you though? Because now I'm saying though, right? The reason I say that is because it is people like there. I was just talking to my homegirl the other day. She doesn't have any social media, right? Mm-hmm. People always come to her saying, "Oh, you should model. You should do this. I want you to be my brand ambassador." She's like, she says that they almost be appalled because she'd be like, "Oh, I don't have social media." And they're like, "What? You don't have social media? Tomorrow War?"
I heard. I ain't watching.
It's with Chris Pratt, but man, the way they put in that movie, man, they had people. They did a draft, and they were sending people from the present to the future to fight a war.
Oh yeah,
and it didn't matter what age. You know what I'm saying? They was just sending them through. People was dying like that. So, but
you know it's crazy how they like the metaverse and all that, and multi worlds and all that.
Yeah.
How they try to say like there's different yous and different like whatever. Do you ever feel like you live in all them joints?
Hell yeah. I did a meditation one time where it was like I let go of a desire in this realm because I knew it wasn't in alignment with me, or at least at that moment. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, bro, like, you got that one. Because if I can see it, it didn't already happen, or it can happen. Yeah. So all I need is the potential.
With me, it's crazy because, like, when I be asleep, I be out in doing a whole nother get down, and right when it's time to die, I be like, yeah, we'll come back over here real quick. Now, real quick, like right when that one's about to, like, I be doing the whole, like, I'm living that get down. Right when whatever reason they about to die, come right back. Like, oh shit, I ain't fucking with that body no more. That's gone.
But literally, you speaking on,
And I don't even know. Honestly, I've never like looked into mirror, so I couldn't even say that I look the same. I just know I'm living a whole different get down. Life. That's me though.
Yeah. But I mean, you speaking to the fact of, reincarnation, we being vessels, there's multiple versions of ourselves. That's why people, you ever hear the term when they talking about, oh, our timeline jumped. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because literally when you start speaking differently, dressing differently, you a different person. You got a different energy on you. It's like you wearing different clothes, you know what I'm saying? So you start doing that, stuff will start changing. That's why people so big into the affirmations and the meditations and stuff. It's like, oh, I can really change my life just by how I think about myself.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if you think you just a drug dealer, a pimp, or a whore, that's what you're gonna be.
You gonna be.
But if you be like, hey man, I'm a limitless being.
No bull. When I was reading Donna Goins and Iceberg Slim and all that, crazy shit was happening.
Yeah.
No, like for real.
It.
Crazy joints happening. Like
what they say, we in a holographic universe. You projecting all of this from your consciousness, you know. So whatever you read, you gonna take it. It's like you feeding yourself. It's like, I bet, like I'm doing this now. Okay, cool. I'm this now because I'm reading this book, or I'm acting like this.
How deep are you into like Inky and Lil in Lil?
It's
like how deep like do you know about that information?
Right now I'm just kind of skimming over some of that because I've been going back again through the Egyptian mythology, or rather the Kemetic mythology and sciences, and but also the Vedic sciences as well. I know that fell, but this book, the Bhagavad Gita, as it is.
She ain't recording. Where is she? Oh, we been recording this whole time? Oh, okay.
This book is I go to this temple out here, man, and you know they speak on reincarnation and karma, but all of this stuff tying together because a lot of even I don't even think we got the real history of America, because you know you think about the mounds and pyramids that was in America that you know a lot of people don't talk about. Everybody talks so much about the East and you know what was over there, but it was a lot of stuff here in the Americas.
No, that book, When the Rocks Cry Out, I tell you about that. Yeah. Dude got proof. Like he can take you to the get downs of like everything that they were saying was in Egypt, Jerusalem, and all that is here, to the point where is it Utah? There's some like state where like it has all of the cities, the same city where they're trying to say is like in, let's just say Egypt, for example, it has all the same like cities within that state.
I mean, it would make
mountains and all the whole get down.
It would make sense though, because you think about just the polarity. It's like a mirror, because even the fact that they had a city in Egypt called Memphis. Yeah. And Memphis is in Tennessee here. Yeah. And then the fact that even what we know about the left and right brain and the hemispheres, it's like literally everything is I want to say a microcosm of the macro. Mm-hmm. So it's like, even how you look at the world, like you got the East and the West, you know what I'm saying? They say the East is more spiritual, right? And then the West, because America is so dominated with materialism, is more material. Mm-hmm. But again, you go back to these ancient times and it was more harmonious. You had just two polarities of like, okay, y'all doing it like this over here, and we doing it like this over here, based on, you know, terrain and climate. But to go back to your original question too, I am just now starting to go more into like the Sumerian mythology and the Anunnakis and stuff like that. And the fact too that you know, it all ties together, because a lot of these stories, you know, even the OG was talking about it yesterday. A lot of these stories, they happen in different myths. Like even there was a flood, of course, in the Christianity stuff, right? But it was also a flood in the, if I'm not mistaken, the Sumerian or the Anunnaki theory. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So these stories are you know,
supposedly the same people too. Yeah. Now, because the reason why I was asking, because I can't remember if I watched it or read it, but they was basically saying that like, you know, Inky and Lil was supposed to be the brothers that came down here and whatever. And so whenever you hear like, let's say, for example, they said God was walking through the garden and this and the other, they say that's in Lil, because I guess one brother created the human species, and the other one,
because it was supposed to be a worker class.
Yeah, and then the other one decided like, nah. Well, I guess you could say like the was it Nephilim or somebody came down, like one of the kids came down. They started having sex with the women, which created the giants, and so then they started saying stuff like, you know, hey, we got to destroy this, or we got to start over. That's where the floods and all that come. But the thing that tripped me out off what I read, it was like, so Enlil was running the garden, quote unquote, the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve, and the brother Inky created him, so he came down. He came down and basically let him know, like, hey, you guys are basically being made slaves. And so he didn't necessarily give them a fruit, but he gave them the ability to see the world that they lived in
for what it was.
And when his brother found out, he called him a snake because he wasn't supposed to.
Right.
And that's where the whole.
Because he deceived him.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, yeah, I ain't gonna front, man. This is a little. We ain't went too deep for real. I gotta get out of here, you know. From
hey, don't even show off that. We got some people coming soon. That's what we're gonna get into. But I gotta go too. Out of here.
Part 2 coming soon.